Okay, folks, we're here at treasurenet, the original treasure hunting website. This is Mark. Okay, and I will show you his YouTube site as well. Okay, he is. Okay, not on this video, maybe the next one. Oh, there he is. Okay. He sounds like a handler for root buying. He is what I was looking for. Mark from Treasure Hunters. treasurenet. Okay. Now, let's go back to treasurenet. Oh, this is his channel. Let me go on to the videos. You see treasurenet revolution. treasurenet is anonymous, and he is what looks like to be the anonymous connection to Root Brian. And here is unstable people fighting causes for the same hate mongers that are doing this mess. She's not identified. I'll try to identify this person later and find out who these are off the forums. And then I will have a good talk to him myself, because this is messed up. Okay? This, for those of you not in the know, the Illuminati has used mentally unstable people all throughout history to use as scapegoats, to fight their battles, to push into fights with ordinary people, so that we are defenseless against them, because you don't want to be punching back to somebody that you know has no clue what's really going on. Okay, so what I find here is I find this Mark from treasurenet. He says this is his stepdaughter, but I'm wondering if that is true. I'm wondering if he has a household of mentally ill people for the purposes of what's going on. I don't know if that's a relative of his or not. But, okay, and here's the real shocker. This guy's an anonymous member, hangs around Root Brian all the time. Okay, fine, we got that. So it says a few words from this guy Mark Austin. It was surprising close to a handle that really stalked me once using personal information, and it is the personal information that has connected. It was a guy called Austin Beal X10 whatever. He sounded like a government agent. Anyway, it says here his name's Mark Austin. Okay, that connects me to the other guy that trolled me because of Root Brian, and then I've watched similar things that, you know, and then Root Brian starts trolling me on Byron Pryor's Facebook channel, and of course all of a sudden he's highly intelligent, he's cognitive of a lot of things I didn't expect Root Brian to be. So yes, this guy is using Root Brian as a fall guy, obviously. It's very hard to argue against somebody that's low IQ, as low as that, because of obvious reasons. Because they have no clue what's going on and he's being used. So finding this agent behind Root Brian. Now, okay, he goes into all this archaeological stuff. Sounds really wild, really cool, until you get to this. Okay, one session that I was unable to rationalize away, believe me, I tried, went like this, letter for letter. He claims that this note was created from a Ouija board. Now, we all know how the Illuminati funds their stalkers. They fund it through, they either fund it through treasures stolen from collectors, or they fund it through people. So there's a made-up story here on this web page. to explain how he gets his money. Or his treasure thing going here. And then this guy goes on to, those are the actual writings, Night from the Ouija board. I personally watched as letter by letter that was spelled out. We had no idea what Trello was, who Edward Allen was, or if this is getting into a lot of Masonic stuff. Okay, this is getting into a lot of Masonic and Satanic. Okay, right from the get-go. This is Masonic and Satanic. So then he believes the reason we were told to get the book Stone Shelters, as a skeptic I've heard the accepting my own words, is because the book has one chapter on caves that has been refinished to be livable. In 2000 I found underground non-linear shelters mentioned above. Look at this picture, the top image. Stone Shelters, Edward Allen. Okay, now, Houston, we have a problem. These sessions occurred in Texas. In a couple of more sessions, it's spelled letter for letter. I have the originals. Nerve clouds penetrate all waters. The basis blown who will be left to fight and kill for food. There's plenty of food and water and diarrhea medicine. So he's playing with the survivalists too in here. Of course, that's what these this Illuminati does, is they're playing with the survivalists. They've always have, because that's the people who plan to survive. They're the ones that get duped into the Anonymous and controlled by these guys. Anonymous, they like to get little teens going up against their security guards at the meetings when all the rich people get together, and then they have these big bunch of cops push around thugs, and that's what they're doing so far. And it's all being brought up as big tests, just like Jonestown, right? Anonymous brings in their crowd to fight the security guards. Each side told that's the enemy and go give her, and then the casualties are acceptable because they're all eugenics. They're all part of the eugenics thing. Okay, so these. So if you can, I'll put a link in for this channel. So if you ever see this guy, he is an agent. He's satanic, Masonic, the whole bit. And you know, these guys say, oh yes, and we're going after Scientology. Well, if you read this page, you would see that it's a setup. Okay, they're going after Scientology. Either Scientology does not expose this because they are part of it, or they do not expose this because they simply don't know. Okay, so which is it? I've sent Church of Scientology information on these guys that they could make fun of Anonymous way better, way more powerful, but they don't. And what is the reason? Because it's Hegelian. Both sides are Illuminati, both sides are a cult, and this guy created some kind of church out of treasure hunting. Okay, and where he got his treasure, it's easy for the Illuminati to find treasure, because they've got tons of it. They got all of it. Even they're the ones that can take the time and the money and do expeditions, whereas us, the working guy, we live day to day trying to get a paycheck. So yeah, that treasure did not come from a Ouija board. I believe it probably came from an investment into these trolls. So this I believe is all a cover story, and it's highly Masonic and Satanic. So, is this the guy that manages Root Brian? And did Root Brian troll himself to create attention? Now that is the question that I'm trying to ask. Now I know other trolls would jump in, and they have punished other trolls for going after Root Brian. Because at one point, Von Helton, same thing. They will punish trolls when they go too far because it's not manageable. So they bring in guys like Cancer Man Returns. And they bring in those guys to bring in the party ban. You know, jail for the trolls that cannot be manageable. But to expose these guys forces them to lose containment. So this is this guy's website. And these are the same guys that go out and go after Scientology, believe it or not. They go after Scientology. I'm not saying going after Scientology is a bad thing. But what I am saying is if you're both satanic and you're both trying to just get attention from the innocent public, somebody has to expose both of you. So here you are. This is what it is. Now, that is Mark's page. A few words from Mark. It's quite amazing because these guys, you know, they promote hatred and all of the tricks they use. Well, this guy is connected to the agency because I was attacked with personal things from a guy. When I got into Root Brian stuff, I was attacked personally. Like, I'm talking personal information only the stalkers would know. Gang stalking me. That they keep a close eye on their victims so that they know your every move. This guy was scared, and he was using private information to intimidate, and he did. So what I did was I allowed myself to listen to him for a little bit when he was helping me with William Weeks. Then I went over and attacked a Toronto site, official Toronto police site, telling them that their burning of the cars was all fake. I put links up on their sites and did all that, and then all of a sudden somebody was sending porn to my relatives, and then this guy started using relatives' names and sick imagery when he went back, and he was using sick imagery of personal information to attack me, which I thought was at first William Weeks, and I went after Adev Nalsat because Adev Nalsat is anonymous, and he has the same video where it says send porn to the family to intimidate people. So obviously if you start seeing porn go to your family, you start going out a video that Adev Nalsat put on. I'll try to find that video where he admits to sending porno to family members, to intimidate them. And this is what Anonymous does. And this is what this guy did. And it was connected to Root Brian. I knew that. I knew Root Brian wasn't doing it. But now I find a guy that's kind of like the head of all these retarded people. And I'm like, oh, yeah, look at this. Big fancy websites. Oh, yeah, it makes lots of sense. This is just like Montegraph. This is a troll handler, just like Montegraph. And there'll be more to come as I look at this guy. Because I believe he is it. He is the Montegraph of trolls that I have been looking for, that plagued me. And it all makes sense because the Canadian government and their play in this, RCMP, Freemasonry, and the Freemason Canadians have their loyalty, United States has their loyalty, and there's a bit of a fight in between, and they'll use pawns, like try to make me a pawn, use against the states, and these guys will play horrific games, cause deaths, because that is what they want. That's what the Illuminati wants. Okay. So if anybody comes up with how this guy comes about, how he comes up with all these treasures and stuff, is it a way of funding his trolls? Is it a way of funding or keeping an interest to what his message of the anonymous group and their goals? What is this? Okay. Anyway, so it's treasurenet. Try and get this so it isn't blurry. Anyway, www.treasurenet.com, easy enough to find. This guy interfered with stuff. He's been dropping me links for other anonymous users that this guy has been dropping me links to information about Monograph. He's been dropping me links about Cancer Man Returns. And the reason why I'm mad at him is because they sent porn to my family to teach me a lesson. And that's when I was setting up an expose to figure out it was them. It was an RCMP handler, of course. And that's what I figured it was. And of course that was, and then Montegraph, all the information that was dropped on Monograph was dropped on Chang, THIRT 13, it was spelled out, Chang 13 spelled out, A. That group was deleted by Monograph. He admits to doing it because this guy, Mark, who dropped the info, was helping me so much that Monograph wanted that channel gone so bad, he did not care if it was evidence against what I was doing to Chang 13A or Deb Nalsat. He didn't care if it was evidence. He wanted that channel gone so bad because this guy was dropping stuff that I could use. And it's nice for a guy to do that, but I am no NWO. I I do not work with the NWO. I do not work well with handlers. And I will burn you if you try to play me. And Mark Austin, I figured out who you were. And you're gonna get it for sending stuff to my family. You are going to you're gonna feel what it's like, okay, because I'm gonna find you now. There is no doubt about it. Your little cult, your little connections, what this site connects to, who the heck you are, it's going to be figured out. And then somebody's going to be giving me tips because they know that it wasn't me looking up all this information. It's impossible for me because I'm not part of the Illuminati. But this guy obviously looks like he is part of the Illuminati, and he is in the right spot at the right time. And I got you. And about that bet that I'd never find your identity, well, I won. And now you got to paint the Freemason Lodge pink, or you're sponging on a bet, aren't you there, buddy?
Toronto Church Cult of Scientology protest, Saturday, June 9th, 2012, 11 a.m. to 3:40 p.m. 2 Anons, 1 cult.
Geography is very controversial. He's a sea organization, all those kind of things, but there you don't find any ratio, any grains of sympathy for what he invented, what he did. I'm not speaking about Dianetics, about the church, and turning it into a church, I don't believe in any church. It's Hebrew extraction, Israeli extraction, but anyway, don't you find that he is modifying something from Freudian,
yeah, he borrowed some old
clear and clear. Yeah, so there are some like this, but he isn't inventing anything new. This is the problem. Nothing new. It is a Freudian. It is even Camus. It is before him, Hartman was writing about the thing. Scientology, not the whole Scientology. Scientology in German, there's some identity in German. He wrote Scientology already. So nothing new. But this kind of thing that clear, to make it clear, this is...
well, first they sell you the pre-clear, then they sell you the OT levels.
The OT level, yes, tetons, yes, the perfect tetons, yeah, sure. So, how they are sustaining themselves, so this frustration, all the language, everything, so a lot of people, go out in New York or go against New York, the United States. We are from the United States. So it's very amazing. So this maybe it is what we are doing, this is, I am against, there is something, this contra and pro, but mostly it is going towards, towards negative.
And also the disconnection. That's the worst part.
Let's see. Thank you very much.
Have a nice day. once you get on the mailing list, hiding behind the cloak of a church.
Well, but hang on, you're saying they killed somebody, so you must have evidence that they've killed somebody.
There's a website called
so
what?
they give the evidence.
Their front group, Narcanon, just got closed in Quebec.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but you're not answering the question. Is that if you have evidence, why wouldn't you take it to the police?
There has been, it's just the police can't do much about it. They cover up everything. It's covered up.
It's difficult to prove that they specifically killed somebody, okay? That's true.
Well, but you're saying they did.
They have.
I'm just trying to follow the logic here, that's all. Because I see you guys out here a lot, and I've often wondered what it's all about.
A lot?
Sorry?
A lot?
Yeah.
We haven't been out here a lot.
Well, maybe it's not the two of you, it's other people doing the same thing as you're doing.
Perfect.
I don't know. But the fact is that if they've done something that's illegal, then you should report them to the police, and then the police will investigate it and charge them if they've killed somebody. And I asked you, I didn't ask you specifically who they killed, but how did they kill them?
Well, usually it's either suicide by the members themselves who couldn't take it anymore and they couldn't get out.
Why couldn't they get out?
Well, they have their fair game policies. Basically track critics or members who've spoken out, they harass them, they follow them home, and they try to denounce them as criminals.
There was one member, Lisa McPherson, that they locked up.
Well, if somebody committed suicide, then nobody killed them other than themselves. But I'm just telling you for what it's worth, okay? Because I've lived
Lisa
in the
McPherson in the 90s, they basically held her captive for
I don't know. You're telling me
days.
stuff,
They tried to charge. They did charge them.
Okay.
The problem is that they had already destroyed a lot of the evidence.
Did you know these people who committed suicide? Were they related to you or something?
Not myself, no.
Okay, well, I would, I'm just telling you, you might want to be a little bit aware of what people are telling you and whether or not it's true. Because it may not be.
I have a media database of over 5,000 articles on Scientology.
But that doesn't mean anything, because people say whatever they want. I can tell you from personal experience, and I'm not involved with Scientology, but I've seen that like I live in the area, and one day I went in and I talked to them about it, and I thought, well, you know what, just for fun, I'll take a couple of their courses.
Okay.
And I took a couple, and I didn't like it. It wasn't for me, right? But nobody bothered me. Nobody, like they called me a couple of times afterwards and said, we're offering
an mailed all the time?
Nope, nothing. They don't bother me at all.
They're really falling down. Normally they go after, they keep calling people who have taken even 1/4 once they're on the mailing list.
Well,
have you taken their stress test?
They did call me for a number of years, right? But not frequently.
Right.
Like I might get a call once or twice a year, and then each time they would call me, I'd say, no, I'm not interested, because they'd invite me to something they were doing. Yeah. And then one day they called me and said, do me a favor, take me off your call list. If I'm interested, I'll come by. I know where you are. And I never got another call from them again.
Did you ever take their stress test?
I did when I first started.
Right. Did you know that they have an exact sales pitch?
Doesn't matter. Everywhere you go, the federal government's got
What kind of religion has a sales pitch?
Well, what kind of government has a sales pitch? I don't know.
They're the worst.
But if you don't want to, if you don't believe it, you don't believe it. It's that simple, right? Some people say the Catholic Church has a great sales pitch. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they go through an exact...
Islam has a great sales pitch.
Exact, step-by-step, word for word.
Well, but every religion has a sales pitch.
But it's not mandatory to
One says believe in Jesus, another one says believe in Allah, another one says Jesus and Allah and God.
But in Scientology, you don't get told what they're really about until you're taking the OT levels.
And that's like in hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, if you can afford hundreds of thousands of dollars, you must have some brains, and you should be able to figure it out before you
get it.
They try and get people to take out.
I don't know. I'm just
second mortgages.
Saying
that. Being devil's advocate, and I understand.
No, I only got into this conversation because they're saying that it kills people, and it has. And I said, well, if they've killed anyone, why wouldn't you just go to the police and have the police?
Why do you think they're banned in a couple of countries in Europe, the Scientology?
Well, I'm not saying that somebody in one of their other organizations didn't kill somebody. Maybe they did. But all I'm saying is that it seems to me it's a police matter. They shouldn't have to stand on the corner with us if there's evidence.
There's evidence.
I'm a lawyer. That's why I'm just asking these questions. So anyway, I just wanted to tease it out with you guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks.
You too. Have a good day.
Right.
You think there's something wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with me. I'm being myself. If you can't accept me for being myself, the way I am, then screw you. But this is not drama, okay? This is my feelings. Alright? That's all I'm gonna say. And like I said, I need love too. This is pure neglect. You are all doing neglect. I don't need to be neglected, okay? I have feelings like everybody else. I have needs and wants like everybody else, okay? That is all. Dear haters who wanna make fun of me, call me stupid, but I'm actually very highly intelligent. In fact, I like to call myself a deity, okay? Expecting that a hate crime toward me. Why don't you meet me in real life, behind the computer, face to face, and then try to fight me, engaging in real life combat. Let's see how well you can win. I highly doubt it. Come on. Bring it. You wanna match it now? You face the consequences. You dare test my power? My strength? I have real life powers, real life magical abilities, and I'm very, very strong. In fact, I know how to get even with you. I know how to win.
Citizens of the United States. We are anonymous. Phase 1 of Operation Defense is running smoothly. We've managed to disable most of our targets. Our targets include any corporation involved in the support of the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act, and those who were responsible in creating it. Some of these targets will include the following: AT&T, Boeing, BSA, Business Roundtable, CSC, Comptel, Cydia, Cyberspace and Intelligence Association, Edison Electric, EMC, Excellent, Facebook, the Financial Services Roundtable, IBM, Independent Telephone and Telecommunications Alliance, Information Technology Industry Council, Intel, Internet Security Alliance, Lockheed Martin, Microsoft, National Cable and Telecommunications Association, NDIA, Oracle, Symantec, Tech America, U.S. Chamber of Commerce, U.S. Telecom, Verizon Wireless, Attacks will not be limited to distributed denial of service attacks. Phase 2 will commence on the 1st of May, and will include coordinated physical protests outside locations belonging to the corporation's foresaid. We will defend our home. Operation Defense engaged. We are anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Supporters of CISPA, you should have expected us.
Hello, it's me. Stinky Sweater Face. Here be monsters. Variable. Cancer Man COINTELPRO.
There were riot police at the intersection of each street that went south from Queen Street into the financial district, but they didn't engage the protesters. They just watched them go by, smashing windows and spray painting. From there, they turned south on Bay Street and started into the financial district. There were 3 police cars abandoned in the intersection at King and Bay. The Black Bloc started smashing the police cars and set one of them on fire. After around 15 minutes, they walked north on Yonge Street, smashing windows along the way. There were no police to be seen anywhere. The streets were full of people going, just kind of doing normal things. At 4:20, they reached College, where they smashed more windows on their way back to Queen's Park. They also smashed some windows at a police station. When they arrived back at Queen's Park, they had all huddled in a circle to remove their black clothing. And then after that, I just lost track of them. They kind of just blended into the crowd or disappeared from that area altogether.
With burning police cars, which is extremely, extremely suspicious when you consider that these things were allowed to burn for the media photo op. These cars were set on fire by the supposed Black Bloc anarchists, and I had been sent a photo from a good friend of mine at nauresistance.org, which shows that some of these Black Bloc guys had the same clubs that the police were using at the front of the riot line.
Well, I've seen the video and photos. They look like cops, and I said that 2.5 years ago in Montebello, and headline, Royal Mounted Police admit that was their officers. I forget the exact headline, but it's Royal Mounted Police admit their officers attacked other officers for the media, and we caught them in Denver. I said look like provocateurs. Denver Post headline, police posed as anarchists attacked other police.
Hello Anonymous. This message and apology video, which is the first time I've ever made one, is going out to all of who are anonymous, who do not want to be caught or found. All who want to respect their privacy and not even be recognized at all. They are anonymous. I don't know who the heck they are. I don't know, well, I don't know why they contacted me and started, harassing, threatening me. It's because I had one video up, just one video, bugging them. And I had no idea they were gonna target me. I had no clue. And I'm greatly sorry for what I said in the video about them, or about anybody. Perhaps anyway, whoever's offended, but I just dislike bullies, trollers, and hate groups. I don't mean anonymous. I don't call any of them that. I don't even want to, be pranked, have pizza sent to my address, Chinese food, chicken, whatever. I don't need no escrow packages because there's enough clutter already in the building. And for one thing, if you want to auction off or whatever 190 Woolner Avenue and the rest of Woolner, go ahead, by all means. I don't care. I live in the building. It's just me. There's more than me. There's how many floors? There's 16 floors in the building, and there's a whole bunch. You can have the entire Woolner Avenue. Just please put it under somebody else's name that's hosting on the classifieds, because for God's sakes, I don't want to be the one dealing with selling the place I'm living in right now to some movie star or anybody. Put it under a movie star or anybody's name, please. Again, from now on, I'm not going to put up any more videos that offend Anonymous, or that target individual bullies, trollers, or hate groups, and the like. It just makes no sense, and it's a waste of my time, it's a waste of YouTube too. So, man, it's hard to make this video. And I'm gonna be kind to Anonymous. They can be your best pals. You fuck with them, they can be your worst enemies. So, once this video goes up, and you will see it, Anonymous, if you want to, you can subscribe to see more of my great videos, other than what I might have said in those offensive videos, because I'm not the only one who might make those kind of videos anyway. Like, who knows, someone else could be starting. 419 scammers of any kind, regardless of race, color, or anything, can make videos like that. Who knows? And then you could end them. But please, don't attack me. Please. I'm asking you. There's so much I can say. All I can say is that I apologize for what was said in those videos. I might have been careless saying that at 3 in the morning. Yeah, 3 or 4 in the morning, around that time. I was out all day, close to all night. I come home, check my email, and see a rude comment, and I just burst. Really sorry. And if Anonymous or anybody was to do the same thing, they would be attacked by their own kind. Well, you know, Anonymous, one of Anonymous rejects the group saying stuff about them, can actually have that member discharged or something worse. I don't even want to imagine that. But I'm truly, deeply sorry. You won't see any more offending videos that offend Anonymous, but they'll only entertain them. Alright? So, Anonymous, farewell. And I look forward to you giving me great reviews on my videos. And cheers. Oh yeah, and to add some extra stuff to this video, now that I've apologized, Anonymous has given me some great ideas for making more videos, such as getting videos to the zoo and petting zoos, since I haven't got, I've only gotten a few videos of my pets, but, not anything else like that. So, I'll keep that in consideration. You guys give me a great clue. I gotta use that. I remember this one time, 5 years ago, I gave a goat a ketchup packet. Oh, it was really funny. I can't imagine. The teachers were pissed off, tried to use scare tactics on me. It didn't work. It was just funny. And, actually not funny, hilarious. The end of that time, the last time I came out to visit, guess what? Ketchup packet was in pieces, and it's shit. So, it didn't really cut the goat's intestines. Sorry for grossed you out, but thanks for the good ideas on new videos. I'll consider them. Oh, and just a note, for anybody who's going to try to offend Anonymous, or anybody, they will. Really. I mean, I'm not joking. They will fuck you up if you mess with them. So, consider them your friends, and don't mention Anonymous in your video if it's offensive. I understand if you want to remain anonymous. I am not offending or talking about the group Anonymous. They can be your best friends, and if you mess with them, they can be your worst enemy.
You promise to keep my name out of this?
I'm trying to be on the good side of them. The part where they don't bother me and they don't offend them at all. They need to be entertained like any of us do. We watch videos on YouTube. Some of us don't post, some of us just comment, some just watch. And a lot of us are putting videos up. But if you're going to offend Anonymous in any way, I'm not doing no more. Well, I accidentally offended them anyway. I'm truly sorry. And if you end up doing that, you're going to get spammed. You're going to get stuff delivered to your door and everything. So, respect Anonymous and they'll respect you. And remember, as they say, what was it again? Yeah. You will not be forgiven and you will not be forgotten. That's when I received a quote from a phone call from one of them. And I know I won't be forgotten or forgiven. But on some point, this apology video makes their, well, specifications and makes them satisfied, they will forgive. So, cheers to all of Anonymous. I'm truly sorry for what I did. In an instant video I just exploded about, and I won't make any more offending videos that bug Anonymous. And plus, I won't mention Anonymous in any offending videos. Okay, seriously, do I have to make this video response? Like, do I have to? In order to tell you that I don't own hundreds of stock accounts, that I don't basically have hundreds of bullshit that I do to people. I don't do anything like that. I don't troll. Okay, Dean? I'm not going to mention your full name, but at least maybe I'll just tag your channels in the tags of this video. Without mentioning names here either. I don't have hundreds of stock accounts. I may run 2 YouTube channels, but that is just for pure amusement. This one here is my main vlogging channel. The other one, if you've probably seen it, is just for comedy and everything else. Either by a video response or an original series that I already started months ago, or close to a year ago, okay? I don't troll, alright? Sure, I support Anonymous, but the moral type, you know, the ones that go out and do real life protests, they aren't trolls. And plus, I know the guy who was actually at the protest. Okay? He's got a family too, and he doesn't troll. Okay? So, I didn't even have to make this response, but I just went out of my way on a steamingly hot, humid day in order to take the time to do this response. Okay? I don't troll. You can look up my screen name. Okay? Look it up on Google if you want. Okay? I'm just telling you. Look it up on Google, click more search tools, and click past month, past week, past 24 hours, past hour. Okay? And you'll see that I don't troll. And if anyone's talking shit about me, they are the ones trolling. Okay? Now, if anyone's basically impersonating me, well, there are idiots that are trying to do that. I would either block them or report them. I clean their comments off my channel. Okay? I don't like their garbage on my shit, if you know what I mean. So, please don't get, also, I just want to make this clear. Please don't get confused with Kramkaz. Okay? He works in the army or military. He's actually told me this before. Alright? So, that's actually quite cool. Okay? That's cool. But, seriously, I don't troll. So, stop, like, just please stop assuming that I troll, okay? I don't. I'm a busy person. I don't have time to troll. And I wouldn't even want to troll, okay? I don't even like doing that. And besides, I don't even like trolls. But still, I have respect for everybody on the web, on YouTube, right? I haven't actually gone off and gone to attack people, haven't I? No. You can look at all those videos and you've seen that I never actually done that. Sure, I may have sent a video message or two, but seriously, I don't personally attack people. I'd let them be. And I don't even get into this shit. I'm surprised I'm even posting this response right here. Just, like, come on. Realize this at least. I don't troll, okay? Alright. I'm just gonna read the video and that's it. I'm not gonna basically get into anything else or go random on this, alright? Just realize these 3 things. Number 1, I don't troll. Number 2, I don't own thousands of stock accounts or whatever, how many do you think I own. And 3, Anonymous is not all trolls. The real life ones that do real life protests, I'm sure you've seen Occupy, they aren't trolls, and they are part of Anonymous too. Okay? I just wanted to let you know that. Maybe you can actually do some searches, and try not to let it get to your head. I know that happened before, about 3 years ago, and I don't let that happen again. I just brush it off. Alright? There's people I know in my area that have actually, I told them they had to brush it off because they were basically assuming everybody was trolls, and that's not good. Oh, and assuming that I live in that address that you posted in a comment, no I don't. And plus there's 2 addresses. There's one in Newmarket to be exact, there's one in the United States, and yes, there's one in Toronto. And the number you posted there is actually from a senior citizen, and I've actually talked to that person. So, if you're going to be, like, senseless enough to post that, because I know you are probably using sock accounts. Yes. 3 of you mentioned the same exact related topic, and so please don't do that. They're using sock accounts. I don't. That gets me thinking, what are you thinking about that? What are you thinking using sock accounts? Alright, well, I gotta get back out there. It's hot. I want to enjoy the sun while it lasts, and then I gotta get somewhere this evening. So, thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and please just, if you have to watch it at least 3 or 4 times to really get what I'm saying, do it. Thank you. Camera. Always have to fall off the speakers.
More motivation. You still don't understand what our children are up against. Let me read you something that was posted on our message boards from someone who claims to be a member of a known pedophile network. It said this: he doesn't forgive, he does not forget, his group has over 9,000 penises, and they're all raping children. So, I want you to know they're organized, and they have systematic ways of hurting children. And they use the internet to do it. These are the predators that are molesting and raping our children, then trading the photos and videos online. And I want to stress again, this is not about politics. It's about giving the dedicated men and women of law enforcement who are trying to catch these predators the resources they...
Alright, this is going to be another video where I have to read a lot, so I'm going to be speaking fairly quickly. Right now, what I want you to do is I want you to think of every single commercial that you've ever seen, and I want you to think of the way our prison system works and the way our law works here in the United States, the system of the judicial system, and how it works and the process of it, from anything from the start of committing a crime to getting caught to going to prison or receiving a sentence, whatever the case may be. Specifically, I want you to think about the news media, mainstream media, Fox, CNN, NBC, etc., etc., etc. And I also want you to think about commercials. So that's a lot of information to think about. So I want you to take a second and pause the video and think about those thoroughly and get a good idea of what I want in your head. So if you have to pause now, go ahead and do it. For everybody else, I'm going to continue. Basically, this is one explanation or one way of specific mind control. One of the tactics is the individual is prepared for thought reform through increased suggestibility and or softening up, specifically through hypnotic or other suggestibility increasing techniques such as an extended audio, visual, verbal, or tactile fixation drills, excessive exact repetition of routines, activities, decreased sleep, nutritional restriction, which is what the military does. Tactic 2 is using rewards and punishment. Efforts are made to establish considerable control over a person's social environment, time, and sources of social support. Tactic 3, disconforming information and non-supporting opinions are prohibited in group communication. Tactic 4, frequent intense attempts are made to cause a person to reevaluate the most central aspects of his or her experience of self and prior conduct in negative ways. Intense and frequent attempts are made to undermine a person's confidence in himself and his judgment, creating a sense of powerlessness. Tactic 6 would be non-physical punishments are used, such as intense humiliation, loss of privilege, social isolation, social status changes, intense guilt, anxiety, manipulation, and other techniques for creating strong adverse emotional arousals, etc. Tactic 7, certain secular psychological threats, force are used or are present, i.e. the suggestibility of it. That failure to adopt the approved attitude, belief, or consequent behavior will lead to a severe punishment or dire consequence. Robert J. Lifton's 8-point model of thought reform: environment control, mystical manipulation, demand for purity, cult of confession, sacred science, loaded language, doctrine over person, and dispensing of existence. So now I want you to ask yourself, is someone trying to ethically or unethically influence you? Method of influence, techniques, mode of influence, choice of respecting emphasis on message, educative or therapeutic. They would include reflection, clarification, discussion, information giving, directed questioning, creative expression, advisory or therapeutic, commenting on problem or alternatives, suggestive ideas, recommending solutions, rational argument, message-oriented, hypnosis in some forms. That would be the good form of someone trying to ethically influence you. However, unethically, mode of influence, compliance, gaining emphasis on response. Persuasive or manipulative rational argument, compliance-oriented emotional appeals, compliance tactics, consistency, reciprocation, social proof, authority, liking, scarcity, and hypnosis in some forms. Controlling, destructive isolation from social supports. Selective reward, punishment, denigration of self and critical thinking, disassociative states to suppress doubt and critical thinking, alternation of harshness, threats, and leniency, i.e. love, hate, anger, etc. Control-oriented guilt induction, active promotion of dependency, debilitation, physical restraint or punishment, and pressured public confessions. So going back to what I asked you to think about in the beginning of the video, if you need to pause again and rethink it, rethink it. The funny thing about the news media and commercials is each one of these things applies to their message. The individual is prepared for thought reform through increased suggestibility, i.e. terror threat levels, news alert, breaking media, breaking news story. Using reward and punishment efforts are made to establish considerable control over a person's social environment, time, and sources of social support. Basically, social isolation is promoted. Basically, if you don't follow along with the political correctness or the message of the mainstream media, you are punished. You are made to be a social outcast. You are socially isolated. You are thus isolated even from family, which is the breaking down of the family unit that we've talked about before, and friends, and there's that bridge between them is eroded. Tactic 3, disconfirming information and non-supporting opinions are prohibited in group communication. You will never ever hear alternative media in a positive light on mainstream. They will make fun of it, they will call them teabaggers, they will do this, they will do that, anything to destroy their message. Tactic 4, frequent and intense attempts are made to cause a person to reevaluate the most central aspects of his or her experience. Basically, they get inside your belief system, annihilate your belief system of a specific belief, reinstate false facts to resupport the new belief. Tactic 5 is intense and frequent attempts to undermine a person's confidence in himself. Basically, they say if you have a pimpled face, you're no good. If you don't look like Jennifer Lopez, you're no good. If you don't own a Cadillac, you're no good. If you don't do this, you're no good. If you don't wear Armani, you're no good. You must have all this possession to be good. They attack your central aspects of yourself. They make you reevaluate who you are. Tactic 6, non-physical punishments are used. Basically, like I said, intense humiliation, loss of privilege, social isolation, social status changes, etc., intense guilt. And then certain secular psychological threats, force, are used or are present. That's where the court system comes in, where if you don't conform to their idea of socially correct, or their agenda, or the way they see things in a political or ideological way, there are threats against it. If you are a patriot, if you believe in the sense of 1775 and the message of the founding fathers, or the message of the militiamen that fought for the the War of Independence in the United States, and believe in the Bill of Rights and believe in the Constitution of America, now there are threats to that. There are psychological threats and physical force threats. You are considered a domestic terrorist. This is in our education system. This is how they are breaking down the family unit. This is how they are causing children to become isolated from their parents because their parents hold a different belief system. This is how mainstream music, mainstream media, mainstream television and movies and people with political agendas are breaking down the brotherhood and the sisterhood of Americans. And this is how they are causing us to fight within ourselves. And I, for one, am trying to change that. I'm trying to show how it is achieved and how easy it is. So you have to ask yourself the question, is someone trying to ethically or unethically influence you?